Good morning, everyone. Let's begin today's session. Before beginning the session, remember one thing, stay at home, stay safe. Today, we are going to learn about the nutrition in plants, a very essential chapter for whole syllabus. So, let's begin this chapter. Okay, see, if you see the headline of this chapter, it is nutrition in plants. There are the two important words that I want to elaborate. See, first is nutrition, and second one is plants. Both things are related with each other. See, these things we learn about the nutrition, nutrients. How you know about the nutrients? We learned that in fifth and sixth standard. So nutrition, first it was introduced in the fifth standard. Nutritions are the necessary things that requires for the human body, or we can say for living things. Okay, so what is mean by nutrition? Nutrition is the mode of intaking of food. By this way, what we do, we intake the food, inject the food in our body. So that is called the nutrition. And we plants are the living creatures present on the earth. So what is the relation between this, or what is the aim of these two words which mentioned in that headline? Is the nutrition in plants. Plants are very necessary for ecosystem. Without plants, not a single living thing can survive on this land. So, what is this mechanism made up of? So, we are going to learn in this topic nutrition and plants. Nutrition is the mode, as I told you, nutrition is the mode of intaking of food. So, let's begin from the first thing, that is a producers and consumers. We all know about, we all are familiar about these two words, producers and consumers. We heard these words in many industries. Production, okay, produce, production, producer, okay, these words very familiar for us. So what we do, produce means what we do related to industries and all those things. We produce something, we create few things. So what our plants are producing, what they are creating. So very essential product which is only produced by, created by plants, that is the food. Can anyone say that how much day we can survive without food? How much day? 1, 2, 3, 4. But there is an end. After a particular time we cannot survive without food. So food is very essential for living things. Plants and animals both, food is necessary. So these things, producers. Now we are going to learn about the first topic, that is the producer. So let's begin with this point. Producers. There is another word that we can use for the producers. We can use that word is creator. What is mean by creator? Creator is the one who creates something. So what plants are creating? Plants are creating the most important thing for us, for living things. That is a food. So we all know that this thing is very essential for each and every living things. We cannot survive without food. So now this nutrition, food, plants, what is the relation between this? So one thing that we all know, that they are the only living creatures which can produce food, and that is plants. Except plants, no one can create the food. So now how they consume their own food, whatever the food prepared by themselves, how they consume it. So that is the called nutrition, the consuming of food. See, they are the producers. They are producing means they will not only produce the food, they use it. they use it in themselves. That is called the nutrition. And nutrition is the mode of intaking food, as I told you before. So how it works, we are going to learn in this chapter. So before starting the lesson, let's elaborate two things: producers and consumers. Producers, I told you that the living things or the creature which can prepare their own food, we call them producers. And consumers, whatever the food prepared by the producers, the creature, the living things, they consume the food from the plants and use for themselves, for their own body, to perform different tasks. Okay. See, we know that if we are taking daily food on time, we can perform all the task activities throughout the day in a clean way. Okay, but what about if we are not getting our food properly on time? We cannot perform our tasks, our duties, our work properly. Okay, so now plants, they don't need to consume from somewhere. They are the producer. They produce themselves. But what is the way how they produce their food? How they utilize it? So there is a process. We call it photosynthesis. So in this process, what happens in this process? We are very familiar about this word, photosynthesis. If I ask anyone, the answer is ready. The process in which plants prepare their own food is called photosynthesis. That much only? Only they prepare food for themselves only? For plants only? No. Plants are preparing food, producing foods, creating food for each and every living thing present on the earth. We are very familiar about the food chain. Food chain begins with plants. Food chain ends in decomposers, or we can say in soil. But it is not the end, it is a circle. If it is starting from the plants, so it is ending on the plants only. So here is the process photosynthesis. Because of this photosynthesis, all food chain work. It's in its we can say it works in its perfect way. Okay. The process of photosynthesis, when the plants prepare their own food, what are the things it requires for the photosynthesis? First thing, what it requires, the most important thing, what is the ultimate source of energy? That is the sun. Sun is the ultimate source of energy. So plants need sunlight. Plants need sunlight. Without sunlight, not possible. It is not possible to prepare the food. Second one, that the thing that is present in the leaves, the green pigment. What do we call it? We call it chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. Again, third thing we require, that is a CO2. Very essential. Now, global warming we are facing for the carbon dioxide only. Why it is said to be plants more and more trees, afforestation? Because of this only. Plants consume CO2, carbon dioxide, to prepare the food. Means two way it is. First thing, that it is using the carbon dioxide to prepare the food and reducing the level of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. And second thing, it is taking under control of global warming. Okay. So sunlight, chlorophyll, CO2. Fourth thing, water. Okay. Sunlight, chlorophyll, CO2, water, and whatever the minerals it requires. Okay. These things required for the process of photosynthesis. From this process, plants prepare its food. Okay. And again, one most important thing happens. Okay. Just like they are consuming carbon dioxide and reducing the level of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and after the process of photosynthesis, they are releasing oxygen and they are maintaining the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. So that is very essential things. Photosynthesis not only prepares the food, that's I told you before. This process is not only for the plants or not only for the preparing food, but it is also related to atmosphere, maintaining the atmospheric balance. How it maintains the atmospheric balance? First, the process of photosynthesis prepares the food for the plants. Not only plants, for everyone. The second thing is that it maintains the balance in the atmosphere. How it maintains the balance in the atmosphere? It maintains the balance in the atmosphere with the help of releasing oxygen. Okay, byproduct. The byproduct of photosynthesis is food. It prepares the food and releases oxygen in the atmosphere. So both are, it is preparing food and maintaining the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen by consuming carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. The balance is maintained. So it is very important. This process is very important for surviving of the animal. So let's move towards the main point, nutrition. Okay. Now nutrition, there are different modes of nutrition. It according to plants or animals. We all have different modes of nutrition. Okay. So let's see that what is mean by modes of nutrition. So plants have different modes of nutrition. Okay, so let's I will just in 5 minutes I will explain about the animals. So because it will be easy to understand that modes of nutrition, it will be easy for us. So let's see, we'll go through the animals and let's see, there are variety of animals, we all know that. Okay, see diversity of animals and plants that is present on the earth. So let's begin with animals. How the animals have different modes of nutrition. Okay, first let's start with the human being. We have a special mechanism to eat our food. We have mouth, we chew our food, we put the bite in our mouth, so it will be digested. So that is a mode of nutrition for us. What about honeybee? Do you know honeybee? Honeybee is very important for pollination. So do we have, now we have a mode of nutrition that we inject our food by the mouth and it is digested. But what about the honeybee? Do honeybee have a mouth like us? I don't think so. So how it, we can say how it get its food or how it inject its food. So it is have it have a different mode of nutrition. What we call what we call it? We call it sucking. What it does, it sucks the nectar from the flower. Okay. Later it converts into honey, but that is a byproduct. But the nutrition, what it do, it sucks the nectar from the flower. So that is a mode of nutrition. So plants also have a different mode of nutrition. Okay. So now we have gone through the animals and honeybee. So these are the different modes of nutrition. Okay. So in plants, we'll see the different modes of nutrition. So in plants, there are the two different types of modes of nutrition. First is autotrophic, and second is heterotrophic. So autotrophic and heterotrophic, these are the different modes of nutrition. So that autotrophic and heterotrophic modes of nutrition, we keep it for tomorrow. Okay, so by this we can end this session, and that will be a homework for you. What is mean by autotrophic and heterotrophic motion? Tomorrow let's begin with this session, with the next session, with autotrophic and heterotrophic modes of nutrition. Okay, so there is homework for you. You need to be find out the different plants which have autotrophic modes and heterotrophic mode. List the names of the plants which have a modes of autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. List the name of plants and be here for tomorrow. So that is for today's session.